If you ever thought about becoming a school social worker but don't know where to start, this video is for you. Welcome to By Kia Bell. I'm Kia and I'm a licensed social worker here to give you everything social work. So please be sure to like and subscribe for more social work content. So I've been a school social worker for 7 years now. Oh my gosh, it's kind of crazy to say that because time just flies. Every school year I'm just like, wow, actually right now, I can't believe we have one more quarter left and I'm just like, where did the school year go? It's crazy, but I've loved every second of it. So I'm going to share 4 steps so that you can become a school social worker too. Before I get into it, I just want to preface that every state is kind of different with what they require. So definitely double check with your state requirements and kind of use this as like a guide, but always do your own research too. So before I get into the actual steps, I want to go over what a school social worker does because I think there could be some confusion between school social work, school counseling, and even a school therapist. While our roles may intertwine, they are different. How I like to describe school social work is helping to remove the barriers to a student's academic success. And we do this by a various amount of ways. So one would be, providing support to a student's mental health. It could be addressing behavioral challenges, providing resources to families, even connecting with resources in the community so that we can help bridge that gap between school and community. It looks like crisis interventions, providing groups and small group interventions with students, or even a large scale intervention with the whole school. It looks like providing trainings to staff members, but essentially it really will depend on a couple of factors. So one, the grade level that you work with. So elementary level school social worker may look a little bit different to a secondary type of school social worker because their needs are different because of the age group. It will also vary on the needs of the school in general. Title I schools may have different types of needs compared to a school in a higher socioeconomic status community. So it really just depends on what your admin wants, what your school needs, and where you live. Getting into the steps, step number 1 is to get the right degree. So you want to make sure that you have the correct educational background for school social work. You probably guessed it, you would need a Master of Social Work degree. Now, I have heard of social workers being at the bachelor's level or having a BSW degree. However, there are limitations on what a bachelor's level social worker can do in comparison to a master's level social worker. So schools typically just opt for a master's level social worker when they can. So that's why most likely that is the requirement for a school social worker. Now, if you are currently, have a bachelor's degree and you're looking to get into school social work, I do recommend going to an MSW or applying for a program. Then we'll get kind of into why that's important in the next step as well. But essentially, if you have a BSW, pretty easy process to get into an MSW program. You just have to meet certain GPA requirements and do the application process. If you have a different type of undergrad degree, don't worry. A lot of MSW programs also accept students who have a different undergrad degree, as long as it's kind of similar in some sense. So sociology, psychology, even criminal justice, they'll take those type of undergrad degrees into an MSW program. Next step is to complete a school-based practicum. So in an MSW program, you are required to complete a certain amount of hours in a practicum, or we also call it field placements. There's a few ways that you can try to obtain a school-based practicum. One is to check with your MSW program. Typically, they already have a list of places that they have approved supervisors with, so that's kind of an easier process, right? If they've already gone through the process with your school to become a field supervisor, they're vetted and they're good to go. Easy peasy. You would just reach out to those supervisors, see if they're accepting new practicum students, and get an interview, and hopefully you're in there. If that option didn't work, or maybe your school, you don't really live in the same state as what you're attending a program at, because sometimes there's online programs in a different state that you're attending. You can also just kind of do some research in your area, the schools that are around, look to see if they have a school social worker on staff, and email that school social worker and see if they're accepting practicum students. You would actually be very surprised at who would be open to this, because I don't think us as social workers, like when we're in the field, we're not thinking like, oh, I need a practicum student. You're just busy and going through your day to day. You're done with school. You don't even think about school anymore. But when you're like one or two social workers out of school, you're overwhelmed, you have a high caseload, really busy, and someone emails you, you're like, actually, I wouldn't mind helping to train this person, and they can kind of help out with the workload at that school, because you would probably need that help, or that person probably needs the help. And the reason I can say this is because I was in that position. So I was actually a field supervisor at my current school a few years ago, and I remember getting an email and I was like, like I was the only school social worker actually at my school. It's kind of a small school, so it was pretty busy, but I also wasn't like dying for help or feeling super overwhelmed, because my admin is amazing and my school is amazing. Yeah, when I received an email, I was like, I actually wouldn't mind having somebody to like, have around to teach, to kind of help me with the caseloads. And also, I think a lot of us social workers like don't mind paying it forward, because we all had to do it. We all had to be a practicum student, and we knew how amazing and helpful it was for our social work journey. So we just want to give back as well. So definitely do some research, reach out to some possible field supervisors. They would just have to be at the master's level as well, of course, and have to do this whole process with your school to be a field supervisor. It's not like a super strenuous process. It's just, signing and providing like certain documentation, signing some paperwork, and getting approval from the admin. With this step, I also want to highlight to definitely do some research with your state. So Nevada, most recently, I don't know how many years ago they started to make this requirement, but to get your school social work license by this state, by the Department of Education, you had to have had a practicum out of school, which is weird, because when I got my school social work license by the Department of Education in Nevada, it wasn't a requirement. I believe we just had to have proved that we worked with kids for at least a year, which I was subbing with the district. So it was easy to kind of prove that and show that I have worked as a sub and, worked at many schools during that year. But now it's different and a lot harder. And I think that's why I think they want to make sure that if the school district is employing social workers, they want to make sure that they have had that experience and know what is expected of them in a school, because it is very different. It was definitely an adjustment coming from like social work background and going into a school, because they have just a very different like politics and the way of doing things that you have to adjust to. And if you don't have someone there, like I had someone that was a supervisor that really helped me through the whole process. If you don't have that, it can be really confusing and hard. So I totally get where they're coming from, but also it makes it really hard in Nevada to become like a licensed school social worker. So definitely check with your state. This brings me to step number 3, which is obtaining the required licensure or certification. First and foremost, you definitely want to get your license in social work. So becoming a licensed social worker. I would say this also kind of varies by state. Like in the state of Nevada, we have the LMSW. So you would take the master's level test and you become a master's level licensed social worker. However, if you have a bachelor's degree, you can also become a licensed social worker, but you would just be at the master or the bachelor's level. I've heard people tell me that like their state, there's only one licensure. Like you just have you're just a licensed social worker. There's no particular levels. Whatever it is, you just need to be licensed. The school is very strict in that regard, because it's very professional. You're working with kids, and there's just a lot of liability if they have people who are not licensed working at the school. Now, the next part definitely varies by state. So like I said, Nevada, you do have the Department of Education school social work license. So that may be a possibility for your state, and there are certain requirements needed for that. Or your state may require that you have a certain certification. I'm not very well versed on the certification aspect, but I know that there are some out there. Now, you may be one of the lucky states where they just don't require anything as far as being like licensed in school social work specifically. I know in Texas, I moved here not too long ago, and when I was job searching, I just felt like there was nothing that was needed other than my license by the state. So they don't really have like anything specific related to social work or school social work to be a social worker at the school. The last step is to apply for social work jobs. Yay. So of course, one of the main ways is to apply through your school district's website, look at their job postings and apply. Oh my goodness. I remember when I was moved to Texas, like I mentioned, Texas has like several different ISDs or independent school districts. So it can be a long, thorough process. So be prepared for that. If you have a state where there's multiple school districts, you just have to apply for like each school district, and it's so redundant, so lengthy. And you have to put in references, and your references get something every time like to fill out. And so I was feeling so bad for my references, like, so sorry, like there's another one I'm going to send to you if you can fill it out, please, even though this is like my fifth one. So that part sucked because in Nevada, it's so different. We have one big school district. So I just created an application for one school, and then I was able to use that same application and submit it whenever I would see like a school social work position pop up at another school. It was amazing. It's great. Like, I don't know why that process wouldn't be possible in other states, but it just definitely varies. I'd recommend not limiting yourself to just school websites as well. For example, my current school is actually a charter school. So I actually found their job posting on like Indeed or ZipRecruiter like years ago, and that's how they reached out to me, and I got my position, which is amazing. So if you're open to like a charter school or a different type of school, definitely look around at your regular job posting website. Another way is to utilize the connections that you haven't already. So if you have family, friends that work at a school, like put some feelers out there, let them know that you're looking for a school social work position, because often admin will let their staff know first that they're looking for this particular position. And it's just nice to, like, as an admin member, to say like, this person vouched for you, so I'm going to give you, that candidate, like kind of more of an opportunity than somebody who's random and you just like saw their resume out of nowhere. Definitely put it out there. Don't be afraid to let it be known you're looking for a social work position, school social work position. And then lastly, in regards to school social work jobs, is if possible to do substitute teaching. Like I shared in my MSW video, I did substitute teaching for the year that I was at my MSW program because of it offers flexibility, and I knew I wanted to do school social work, so I thought it would be good for connections. And while, the school that I'm at now, it's not like the school that I subbed at all, of course, because it's a charter school, but I remember that I was a long-term sub at this middle school for science, and the assistant principal would often just come in and check in on me, make sure I'm okay, like making sure if I needed anything. Like, he was so great. And we would just chat here and there. And he was asking, like, are you, going to school to become a teacher? Is this what you want to do? And it's probably because he wanted me to actually be the teacher, because they needed people bad. And I was like, no, actually, I'm in school to be a social worker, and I'm really interested in being at a school as a social worker. And he was like, oh, okay, nice. Yeah, like, let me know whenever you finished with your schooling and your licensure, and we'll see if we have anything open for you, because I know we have a part-time social worker now, but it would be nice to have someone here full-time. And I was like, yeah, like, that's amazing. Wow, that didn't work out, because honestly, I didn't like want to be at that school personally, but I would have reached out if nothing came up as an opportunity. So I thought that was really cool and definitely an option. And then, of course, if you do your practicum at a school, like, that's also a really great way to get a position as well. Not necessarily at that school. Like, yeah, if they have a spot open and you did really well at that practicum, I'm sure they would take you in and offer you a position. But principals talk. They talk to each other. So if you pull out, let your principal know that, like, yeah, I'm, searching right now for a position. And if they can't offer you one at that particular school, they can talk to other principals and vouch for you and get you an interview, or put your name out there for them to kind of remember, like, oh, Yeah, I know what school you went to. I know the principal that you worked for, and they will probably reach out to that principal and see how you were. So you always want to make a good impression at your practicum if you're at a school. Those are my 4 steps. I feel like it was a pretty quick video rundown. So if you have questions that I didn't cover, definitely ask them below. I'm always happy to help further. If you liked this video or felt like it was helpful, please be sure to like and subscribe. Let me know if you have any ideas or any videos that you want to see in the future. And thanks for watching.